Most people misunderstand this moment. They think Banquo's ghost appears to scare Macbeth, or to punish him, or to signal that the supernatural has taken over the story. But Shakespeare is doing something far more dangerous. This scene exists to show what happens when guilt stops being private and destroys power in public. By the time we reach the banquet, Macbeth has already crossed every moral line. Duncan is dead. Banquo is dead. Macbeth is king. On the surface, he has succeeded, and that's exactly why this scene matters. The banquet is not a celebration. It's a performance. Macbeth is hosting his nobles. He is displaying control, stability, legitimacy. This is the first time he tries to look like a real king. And then Banquo's ghost appears. The crucial detail is this: no one else sees it. The chair is empty to everyone except Macbeth. That tells you everything. This is not a supernatural invasion of the court. It is guilt made visible, but only to the man who caused it. Earlier, Macbeth tried to manage guilt by action. He ordered Banquo's murder. He tried to eliminate the threat. But guilt does not disappear when its source is removed. It adapts. Banquo's ghost does not speak. It does not accuse. It simply sits. That stillness matters because Macbeth does not need words. The presence alone is enough to unravel him. He reacts publicly. He loses control of his language, his authority, his composure. And for the first time, his inner collapse becomes visible to others. Lady Macbeth immediately understands the danger. She tries to contain the damage. She explains his behavior as illness, as temporary weakness. But this time, her control fails. Earlier, she controlled Macbeth in private. Here, she cannot control perception in public. That difference is fatal, because kingship is not just power. It is belief. The moment the nobles see Macbeth unravel, his authority cracks. This is why Shakespeare places the ghost at a banquet, not in a corridor, not in a dream, not in solitude, but in front of witnesses. The ghost exposes the truth Macbeth is trying to hide, that his power is built on murder, and that he cannot carry it. Notice what happens after the ghost disappears. Macbeth does not regain stability. Instead, he becomes more reckless. This scene does not correct him. It accelerates him. Because once power is publicly questioned, tyranny becomes defensive. From this point on, Macbeth stops ruling. He reacts. He seeks certainty from the witches. He escalates violence. He abandons restraint completely. This scene answers a central question in the play. Can power survive without moral legitimacy? Shakespeare's answer is no. Force can seize power, but only belief sustains it. Banquo's ghost destroys that belief, not through fear, through exposure. Most people misread this scene because they focus on whether the ghost is real. But Shakespeare doesn't care. The ghost's reality is irrelevant. What matters is that Macbeth reacts in a way that reveals guilt. Responsibility does not require a witness, but collapse does. This is the moment where Macbeth's internal corruption becomes a public fact. The dagger scene showed how violence begins in thought. The sleepwalking scene showed what happens when guilt can no longer be suppressed. This scene completes the arc. It shows what happens when guilt destroys authority itself. After this moment, Macbeth is king in name only. Power remains, But legitimacy is gone. And once legitimacy disappears, only fear is left. That is why Banquo's ghost is not a punishment. It is a revelation. And once revealed, there is no recovery.